Hey everybody, it's Eddie Joe in Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv, and there is so much to go through today. It's amazing. I could not get through everything during the Crypto Minute. There's just a ton of news, so we're just going to rifle through it right now. So here we go. There are areas where crypto and AI overlap. And Vitalik Buterin says, yeah, that could be a very good thing. However, you should be paying attention to the idea that crypto is meant to be transparent, and AI and its black box kind of way of operating is opaque at best. And that's where you're going to have problems. And I can believe that. So from a development, from a I guess a technology, I absolutely agree. We want to know what's going on in that space. So, start paying attention. There are a lot of deep fakes out there. There's a lot of bad news out there. When I say do your own research, that's a part of the job, right? To pay attention to gathering corroborating evidence or corroborating information so that you can formulate the right ideas for your investments. That doesn't just mean find the same story someplace else. It's also read the story to see if that story is just the same story, right? Because they're doing that a lot these days. Anyway, next up, Sui blockchain. TVL has blown over 430 million. That is amazing. What have they been around for a year? So I'm sitting back and I'm kind of going, yeah, that's kind of cool. It's in the top 10 DeFi blockchains, right? Just driving growth. And they've got plans for 2024. That flips me over to Xai Network. Xai Network running on Ethereum's Arbitrum, huge. They are locking down games. They want to own the game space. So everybody better wake up and pay attention. They're launching their coin. They've got deals coming through, like partnerships with Laguna. They've got games coming on board from other gaming companies. It's going to be big. I can honestly say I definitely feel, no, they do not pay me. Nobody pays me. I wish they would. No, but nobody pays me. This is all on me. But looking at Xai, I'm kind of like, yeah, definitely piqued my interest. They're firing on all pistons. They're doing things correctly. So that's what I like about them. There's a rhyme and reason to what they're doing and how they're doing it. Same thing with Sui. Rhyme and reason to what they're doing and how they're doing it. Meaning they've developed, their roadmap and they're implementing it, right? So I'm a certified project manager. So when I think about, you what is it? You work the you work the strategy or something like that. I forget what it was. You plan the work and then work the plan, right? And when I sit there and I think about it, that's exactly what they're doing. They planned what they had to do and now they're working it out. And I'm all about it. I can stand behind companies that do that, teams that do that. And I kind of like how the communities are supporting the efforts. So that's what I'm looking at. Next up, Binance took a major hit last year, right? CZ got arrested. He's still in the United States, not allowed to leave. He had to resign from Binance. Yes, he's still the major shareholder. However, he had to step down. Since that time, Binance, they took a dip in terms of market share, and they're right back up at about 49%. That says a lot. And and all last year, if you go back and you look at all my videos, you'll see where I'm saying to people, yeah, I don't necessarily appreciate the fact that they falter a lot around regulatory compliance. That is their weak spot. And I hope they're correcting it right now. But I haven't heard anything bad as of late, so maybe they are. They could be doing what Solana did. Solana had a lot of network problems, and they just quietly took care of it. They just quietly took care of their network problems. And now they're proving to be one of the fastest. They're proving to be one of the most secure, one of the most reliable. Hat tip. Grayscale. Now, I mentioned yesterday that, yeah, Grayscale's outflows seem to still be in decline, right? which means that everything's kind of settling into a nice little groove, right? And somebody posted a note to me yesterday, might have been Ike, that said, you know, Grayscale did it on purpose to drop the market. No, I don't think it was Grayscale. I think it was their customers that said, great, I can sell now. I'm going to sell. Your rates are ridiculous. I'm out of here. I think that's what happened. I really think that's what happened. And it just happened in such droves that's what had to happen. Another reason why they had to do what they did is because DCG, parent company, Digital Currency Group, needed the money. Plain and simple, straight up. Remember, they sold CoinDex earlier. So they're, you know, looking at, you know, financial pressures. And Circle, you know, Circle doesn't make huge news. But what I've noticed is they are making news on a consistent basis. And this time they're making news because they're actually going to be launching USDC natively on the Celo network. That's kind of good news. And it also tells me that they're paying attention. They are making their stablecoin more accessible with basically each passing day. Another reason to pay it. Another reason why I will use Tether if I must, but if I have the choice, I will use USDC. Just saying. Ethereum's Dencun upgrade, I pray I am pronouncing that properly. But their Dencun upgrade has now been implemented across 2 testnets with 1 left. That's huge because that means that things are going actually pretty well. They're hitting major milestones. So I'm paying attention to that because that means, again, scalability, speed, and security. Of course, with that comes efficiency and hopefully price decreases in the amount of money people have to pay in gas fees. So that's huge. Something else that's even bigger than that. You know, when it came to NFTs, OpenSea was the company to beat. What are we finding out now? OpenSea CEO says, we could be open to a takeover. So now that it's in the universe, who's going to buy them? Like, who would buy them? I could tell you something. You know, it would not amaze me if Polygon Labs did it. They could do it. They could definitely do it. And it would be one of the smartest moves they could do. Seriously. I would think about that. You know, that's something I would definitely think about. That's a very interesting opportunity. One of their competitors could buy them. I think Solana, Rarity, whatever. Yeah, I could see that happening. And what would they pick up? They would immediately be vaulted into the number 1 spot, obviously, as well as they'd be so far beyond everyone else. That's something to contemplate. Now, something else that I was thinking about is, you know, as a marketplace for NFTs, right now it's basically just artwork, right? But imagine if you could flip that into a better use case, introduce new revenue streams for managing NFT operations for other businesses. That would be very interesting. That would be incredibly interesting to me, right? Something else that's interesting to me is the SEC. I keep talking about how the SEC is screwing up all over the place. Well, here's another prime example. SEC loses to Kraken. They were pressuring Kraken to get user data, XRP user data. And, you know, people that use XRP, just to be clear. And, they just lost. Big. That's huge. You have no reason to access user data. That's basically what the court said. You got no reason for that. Until you come up with something, go pound sand. Something else that the SEC is doing that's catching the ire of a lot of people. They've actually filed to drop the case against Debtbox. And the reason why is because they just want to sidestep sanctions. They want to sidestep the sanctions that a judge has put forward. When is Gary Gensler going to lose his flipping job? He has screwed up in every single way when it comes to crypto. I don't know what he's doing with the rest of everything, but if he's running everything as sloppily as he's running this, yeah, we need to rethink who put him in the office as well. He sucks. Just saying. Some cases need to be brought forward, obviously. But the inconsistencies, the outright lies in some cases, right? I don't believe in using words like, oh, that was a misstatement. No, it was a freaking lie, right? Like the terms like that just tick me off. Call it what it is, a lie. So the lies, the sloppily presented cases, the bare bone minimums when they're making certain points, during a case. Yeah, not doing your job. For, an agency that when they used to go up against people, it was like, oh, that's a definite loss. Now it's like, yeah, we'll take our chances in court. Like, come on. What are you doing that you're screwing up so badly? I just don't understand that. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Something else that's kind of got me, I'd probably say a little bit more concerned, is the fact that it's been a string of cases they're taking it on the chin about. That's sloppy. That's beyond sloppy to me. Right? So I pay attention to things like that because it means something. And with one fell swoop, they could come in and ruin things. Right? So keep your eyes open about what's going on. Something else that actually made me smile. Standard Chartered said, hey, because I said that an Ethereum spot ETF could happen in May. Standard Chartered said, not only can it happen in May, but we think it could happen by May 23rd. Good to know I'm in good company. Dead serious. Good to know. I feel good about being in good company. An Ethereum spot ETF, like I keep saying, already has the playbook because there's already a Bitcoin spot ETF. On Bitcoin spot ETF stories, BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF has surpassed Canadian Bitcoin spot ETFs already. So that's pretty interesting. That's really crazy. BlackRock, that's 40-something% owned by Bank of America. That's also interesting. Just how things are intertwined, all that's actually pretty interesting to me. I pay attention to those things because it helps me to understand what moves can be made, what moves will be made, and how they are made. Right? So you can start to understand the thinking behind things. So the chess moves, the three-dimensional chess moves that are going on, I find that to be crazy interesting. Another side note, London has a woman on trial as a part of a $6.3 billion money laundering scheme. Yeah, that's not insignificant. Just putting that out there. That's not an insignificant number. And it shows that, you will get caught. You will get caught. So everybody that says that, crypto's only used for illicit things, I want you to take a look at all of these things that are already out there that are going on that are not illicit. And then when you say illicit things, I also want you to look at any other fiat, not other, but any fiat. They all have that. Bitcoin compared to the US dollar, this much in illicit transactions versus the US dollar. So why are you harping on this? Pound for pound. So I'm just saying, right? So that's the big news. Those are all the big news events that we have for today. I normally go through and, hit all the numbers and all that stuff. But I think today is take a breath, take a breather. We've got economic numbers coming out today. We have decision making by the Fed coming out today, which, you know, I don't think there's going to be a move at all. But it's not the move that I'm thinking about. It's the rhetoric. It's the talk that I'm thinking about. What's going to happen when Powell speaks? What does he say? That's what I'm paying attention to. I'm hoping he doesn't allude to anything, so everything stays nice and smooth through March, because I really don't want anything. As much as I think that there is a percentage chance that, you know, they could up something in March, you know, reduce the rates in March. One, I don't want it that soon. Two, because there's no reason. Economic data is showing there's no reason. I see it. I see that it could happen after that. I see that it could happen, you know, second quarter, very late second quarter, if second quarter at all, but most likely third quarter. And that's where I'd like to see. I think that's where it would have the most impact. That's where it could have the most impact. The only thing that I could think of that could drive a decision to move sooner is just more layoffs. That's kind of what everybody wants. Not everybody, but people with money. It's kind of what they're looking for. More layoffs, right? And you've got UPS that's going to lay off another 12,000. You have the tech industry that's dropped about 24,000. So you have a lot of industries and companies that are dropping a lot. So it's something to pay attention to. You know, but right now we're just moving sideways. We're still above my yellow band. We're still playing within that yellow band area. So I'm happy about that. It goes from like 741 to 44 and change. Nice little, you know, area to be moving in. Settle there for a little bit, maintain that space, and then I think we go up as we approach the halving event. Anyway, that's Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. If you have any questions, please hit me up on growmybag.tv. Don't forget that everything that I talk about every morning is an article, a full-blown article that you can find on growmybag.tv. Something else, if you don't like what I'm doing and you think you have ideas about how I can improve, please do so. And I do hope that my sound is coming across a little bit louder. Anyway, have a good one. Bye-bye.